It's a special edition of Finance Friday. We welcome Dave Schurman from FirstOntario Credit Union to talk about property and casualty insurance and the effect of COVID-19. And Dave has brought along, we're talking about the recently opened insurance brokerage as well. So Dave has brought along a guest, Rob Vosseler, who is the president of FirstOntario Insurance Brokers. So welcome both. Dave, we're going to start with you by asking, there's a big difference between an insurance brokerage and an insurance agency, if you could explain that. And why did FirstOntario Credit Union decide to create FirstOntario Insurance Brokers?
Good morning. And yes, there is a big difference between a brokerage and an agency. An insurance agency basically represents and is controlled by one insurance company. So if you're going to an insurance agency, the representative really only has the products and services of that one specific insurance company available to meet your needs. Whereas a brokerage is independent. A brokerage represents a number of different insurance companies. They have contracts with a number of companies, and they really represent the client that they're meeting with. So when they uncover those clients' needs, they've got a whole slew of insurance products and services to best meet that need. And why FirstOntario started FirstOntario Insurance Brokers, that was pretty simple. We're a community-owned financial institution, again, owned by the community to meet the financial needs of people in the community. And everybody's financial need includes protecting our assets, such as our home, our autos, and if you're not an entrepreneur, then protect your business. So that's really why we started it, because there's a big need in the community. We wanted to be able to provide those solutions.
Okay, well, let's get Rob in here. Rob, during the first wave of the pandemic, we heard a lot about auto insurance rebates and insurance companies making huge profits because no one was driving, reduced risk, and governments suggested that maybe they could cut rates. How many played along?
Good morning. Thanks for having me. I think that's the key point. The provincial regulator did not insist or demand or mandate insurance companies offer rebates. They basically left it up to each insurer to look at their numbers. Did they really have a better loss experience, less claims, less auto accidents? And if they did, some gave rebates, some gave them for a couple months, some for 2-3 months. Others did not, and they simply advised that they would freeze any future rate increases. So it was a bit of a free-for-all all over the map. But, that's one of the reasons you deal with a broker. He or she can definitely give you clarity on what your company did and is doing going forward.
Right. Some of these, like you'd have to ask, you had to be proactive and ask for the rebate. How many just went ahead and announced rebates?
I don't have the exact number. I think in our office we had 3 out of maybe 12 that automatically offered the rebate. Others, you're right, you had to be proactive. And again, others simply said, look, we're not sure yet here. We're just going to keep things as they are, no rate increase. So the good news is we don't see any auto insurance rate increases for the next few months, maybe even a year. A lot depends on the second wave and how traffic patterns change.
And here we are in the second wave, and people are still working at home, so you could say reduced risk. Do you think we'll see further rebates, or are they done?
You know what? I'm a bit of a pessimist there. I don't think we will, but it really depends on how governments will react to the second wave. It doesn't sound like they're much in a mood for a complete shutdown because the economy probably can't take that. So it remains to be seen. It's tough. I'm going to say unlikely further rebates are coming, but these days anything can happen. It's hard to predict.
Okay, in the time we have left, let's talk commercial insurance. Of course,
Sure.
Businesses hit hard and certainly tough to insure given the circumstances. So where is business at with getting coverage commercially?
It's a very tough market right now, and this was long before COVID-19. Last couple of years, we've seen insurance companies step back from certain risk types. For example, residential realty, commercial realty, hospitality, and retail. They were, going up in price and difficult to get insurance in the first place because of high claims and high claims costs. COVID now has made the situation worse. Some companies were paying business interruption claims if your policy had a rider or an extension for it. Other companies don't think they have to pay, but there's a lot of uncertainty around business interruption. I think it's going through the courts as we speak. There was a major ruling in the UK not long ago. So it's all over the map, but the bottom line is COVID COVID made the situation worse.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Rob, and thank you, Dave, for joining us for this special edition of Finance Friday. You can visit FirstOntarioInsurance.com to get a free insurance quote, and as always, email your personal finance questions to Dave at FinanceFriday@FirstOntario.com or through Twitter at Finance_Friday. If your question is covered on air, you'll get a gift card from a local business in your community.